For the next 10 minutes, I would like you to take you to a journey of building future networks. We at Nokia and Bell Labs believe that we're going to unfold into an era of knowledge and possibly wisdom creation. Welcome to the world of generative AI. So I'm going to reflect now and take this powerful message of wealth of knowledge and wisdom creation and attempt at building in the next few minutes a networks of the future. There's going to be human sometimes in the loop, sometimes no humans in the loop, but we predict that machine learning operations and large language models are going to play a critical role. Bottom to it is the data science and data augmentation aspects of it, and we'll reflect on it. From our perspective, we call this is the network of sense, sensing all parts of the networks from observability, thinking from a power and model of AI and GenAI, and acting in closed and open loops through the aspects of autonomous operations. We believe to build this network, there's going to be 5 foundational principles that'll come into play. And I think this is a textbook for pretty much every operator, every vendor that we need to start thinking about, that how do we build this network with these 5 guidelines. And we think expertise, people and skill, AI governance is going to be foundational to anything and everything we do out here. The center of it is machine learning technologies, and especially large language model technologies. I will reflect a bit about prompt engineering, the aspects of fine-tuning of these models, what we are doing with model farms. That becomes a unique technology that's fast emerging that we as telcos need to learn around. Data, the frameworks of data, no need of moving the data, how the data mesh is going to live in the networks, how these data needs to be correlated into the ML tech models, and eventually the application and the developer ecosystems with the AI apps. So these 5 principles, we believe, are going to be foundational for these future of the networks. Let's go there and very quickly build how this networks of the future looks like. You know, for the last few years as an industry, we've been using cloud, and we have come a fairly bit in the first generation of building 5G networks that we are seeing the adoption of private clouds, hybrid clouds, disaggregation of edges, far edges. So you see that diagram at the bottom of it where we are seeing now networks have started to live and breathe underneath the cloud. And I'm drawing a gap intentionally here. I don't think we as a vertical have reached to an era where we are connecting to the industries and enterprises yet for every single meaningful use case where wide area networks are more and more relevant to industries and enterprises. So let's build a network. How can this network be more relevant to industries and enterprises? For us, the first and the foremost layer is building these access technologies, the radios, the fixed, the transports, the core of the networks, making it more frictionless. What we call is making it more autonomous. That's the foundation layer to it. Building the building blocks of automation, analytics, and digital security. These are foundational software stacks that needs to be built over this network. And some of these key areas that I'm calling out here, specifically intent-based operations, when it comes to taking the business intent and translating into the network, taking the analytics and the security aspect. And then finally, for the last 2 years, we have been talking quite a bit about a programmability-driven network where you take the programmable persona of the network and connect it to the ecosystem of these developer communities out there. Now, while I build this stack, there's one thing missing, and that's the Telco Gen AI platform. We believe that generative AI is going to be complementary to the traditional AI frameworks. We talk a lot about generative AI for the last 12 or 15 months, ever since the unfolding of the ChatGPT. But we got to think about that traditional AI and time series functions and the analysis of it is still going to be very relevant for the telco networks. So that's why when we draw the analytics and AI crusade for the telcos, we are calling out both large language farms as well as model farms critical to the center of this strategy. I'm going to talk about the model of generative AI. Before I talk about the generative AI model and how we are approaching it, I just want to highlight a use case of in an APAC customer where we build this large language model farm, build some telco-specific practices, and these are the outcomes you see that we are able to resolve with. To do that exactly and how we did it, let me take you to a Telco GenAI platform here. The foundation for this Telco GenAI platform is the basis of these large language models. Start reading it from the bottom of it. We at Nokia and Bell Labs believe that there is going to be a model farm strategy where both open farms or open large language models and closed large language models are going to be decisive to this. We are building a model farm strategy. We are building telco-specific vectorization capability. Remember, all these models are trained on large language models are trained on internet data. You need to make it more relevant to the telcos, so we are building the telco vectorization process. We are building in the domain knowledge of all these projects that we roll out, all these products and networks we roll out. We are building fine-tuning capabilities onto these large language models, capabilities of prompt engineering, so that these models do less hallucination going forward. And we see quite a bit of use cases out there that we are folding both from a productivity side and also from a products use case side. One thing that I want to highlight as I wrap up my session, at our booth, we have got an industrial edge farm server as we are powering up 800 plus private wireless servers. And what we just launched an MX industrial edge powered MX Workmate. And what it does is, it is a conversational chatbot to all these industrial and workers out there who can easily converse with industry shopping floors where all these conveyor belts, robotic arms are moving, and you can predict and have better care and association with the network on troubleshooting and various alarms and systems. This was launched this week with us. Another one is where we are taking network security and having conversational frameworks on threat modeling, threat detection, and predictability using the GenAI capability. The use cases are going to be enormous, but we need to start off with the foundation of it, and that's where we are after this crusade with Bell Labs. Thank you for listening, and have a great show.